Hello, my name is Daniel, and today I'll be presenting the Week 3 Milestone 3 Pickups, Power-Ups, and Procedural Maps of 3Ps for our UAT, our UA Tanks project in GPE205 at the University of Advancing Technology. For the criteria, number 1, all previous milestones met. We'll do a quick preview just to show that we still have all functionality. Tank moves, turret moves, cannon, fire, still have guns, sound effects, visual effects added now. Enemy tanks patrolling. If I get close, they're gonna come after me. AI state still working. Number 2, map generated through Instantiating Tiles. Go to my code, my map generator, and you can see we are instantiating a random prefab from a game object prefab array. On our map generator, we can see there's currently 4 game objects in our prefab array. These are the 4 objects right here. And so our map generator is taking these 4 different prefabs, 4 different prefabs. And when it generates the map, there's code on each one of these. There's code on each one of these. Room script that controls north, south, east, and west doors, which you can see are, I have extended the full length of the wall. So when the game starts, it checks to see which row and column that each tile is in, and it will deactivate the walls accordingly, which you can see here. I is indicating our rows, and J indicates our columns. And so, depending on the position, it will deactivate certain doors. And so, what that looks like, we've already seen it a little bit. I have 3x3 map set, random map. It'll generate a random seed to populate the map. And so you can see all the middle walls are gone, but the exterior walls remain so that there is a boundary for the players. A tile array exposed to designers, and at least 3 source tiles exist. And so we saw that exposed tile array with 4 tile prefabs currently. Map size is adjustable by designers. That was also right here. Take that to 5x5. You can see map has increased. Do a 2x5. So that is all functioning as it should. Map generation can be set to random level, and a random level generated each time the game starts. So I've actually had it set to random already. We'll go back to 3x3. I have the map seed here, visible for designers, so you can get an idea of what seed we're using currently. 2571. Again, 2226. Different map. And one more. 3062. And again, different map. Map generation can be set to preset seed, and seed can be set by designers. And so what that looks like is, let's see, 25. Let's see, 25, if I leave it as 25, it should be the same map that we were just on. You can see that it is. Well, we can go to map 250. Now we have the seed 250. Map generation can be set to level of the day and level of the day correctly generated. So we have this Boolean set for random or for map of the day. We'll go with the map of the day. When that's enabled, it will set the map of the day seed, which is 2042 for today. And all the enemies just killed me. And the way that works is the random seed generator. Right here. Pass in a date time, and it will calculate year, month, day, hour, minute, second, millisecond, and it will return that value as an integer, and use that to right here to seed the random. And when you do map of the day, it only calculates the date, that's year, month, day, and that will always be the same value for the day that you're on. And when you add in time, then you got a constantly changing map for your random. And I have this set so that if both are selected, it will go ahead and just pull a random, because the designer's confused, so it's just going to go with the random value. That can also be put together logically so that it displays the map of the day if both are checked. I decided to go with random. AI and players spawn on random tiles. They're not preset at level load. And you've been seeing that over here. No enemies, no player. When we start the game, you'll see that everything is a clone, instantiation of a prefab. And you see my enemies spawn and I spawned in after the level is generated. It's supposed to spawn in random locations, but my logic is messed up somewhere, and I keep spawning in the same location every time, and I have not been able to get that one figured out yet. As well as the enemies, they all spawn in the same general location and not spread out across the map like I would like. So you'll see them all spawn down here in these first 4 tiles. So that is something that I'll have to figure out, and I think it has something to do with the size of the map and adding the vectors. I'm not sure, but so far everything just spawns in those first generated tiles, the first 4 tiles. Power-ups spawn are able to be picked up by players and AI and respawn after a set time. So I have the power-ups set to spawn in after, I believe, 5 seconds. And you can see they came in shortly after the enemies. Pick it up. It's hard to hear, but there's a little feedback sound when you pick up. If we go here to current power spawns, see they're disappearing, the enemies are picking some up, they're coming back in after a set amount of time. To add health came in. If we go to my player, look at our data. Let's take some damage here. It wants to shoot me now. Okay. See a health dropped. And I picked up the health. Alright, so if you watch my health here, Current health, 6. Went up to 9. Went up to 12. And I have my health set to be permanent, so when the power up time to live timer goes away, see my cannon damage went up to 115. That's only temporary, and then it went down to 100. And then back to 100. This is a speed boost here. And you'll see my forward speed right here increased to 20. And then times out, deactivates. But health is set permanent and will not deactivate, and so I'll keep those health gains. And you can see here in our pickups we can set its permanent value. Power-ups affect players and AIs and can expire after a certain amount of time. We just seen that. The AI is affected by the power-ups. They do get speed increases and things like that, but it's hard to track them doing that when I'm running from them. So let me go quickly to the corner over here. So they're picking up those. Let's see if he gets this next cannon damage. Not going for it. It's gonna be the other guy. And of course I went right around it. As brilliant as AI can be. Cannon damage goes up to 115. So the AI are affected by these power-ups as well. Game Manager singleton exists and allows easy access to level object power-ups, player object, and array and enemy tank objects. And I've been showing a little bit of this throughout. I have my manager set to display the number of players. This is going to be useful when we get to multiplayer. Displays the player score in real time. Player health, max health, current health, speed. The amount of enemies to spawn. We can change that. Bring that down. Current enemy spawned. I have this over here so that the can quickly view it from the game manager during gameplay. And then all the lists and arrays necessary for populating any other data that I need. See, we got 2 enemies spawned in. Number of players 1. Current enemies 2. Map seed 250. Real-time view of the power spawns. Collected power spawns are the ones that just got picked up. I don't know why more power-ups aren't generating what they should be. Anyway, here we have all the spawner transform positions, potential positions for our respawns. We also have enemy spawner positions. Spawn delay, max power up spawns. That should be set higher than 0. Maybe that's my problem. Enemy spawn delay. And I added these two. Boolean options here. This one will allow designers to say no power-ups are going to be spawned in the next map generated. And this one is for generating a random number of power-ups based on the map size. And so I just did some logic in the code to determine that. Calculate max power-up spawns. Just some simple if statements. Under a certain amount, generate this many spawn point or power-up spawns, and then over 80 is just 5% of the map size. So if I got rid of that, and that's why that was set to 0, because I had it set on random. And I can put, let's see, this is a put spawns on every map, on every tile. Let's do that again. And we can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 power-up spawns. They like to stack on top of each other, and I need to fix the logic so that they'll jump to a different tile if there's something already there. But that's why you see it doesn't look like 9, but there are some that are double stacked. Or I can do that. You see I have it set to 9. enemy spawn, no power-ups. Can be set to something like hard mode or some kind of difficulty level for that setting. So that was a little bit of some above and beyond stuff that I did there. Game manager is still a singleton. We're still working on the game manager that we've been working on the whole time. Bug and error free. The only time we have problems is when I get blown up because I haven't set a game over scene or anything like that. So there's nowhere for it to go. So when I die, then it loses connection to all that data. Other than that, console is clear. Comments on my code. All my code is commented out. Everything for all my scripts. Project organization. I like to keep things very organized. So here there's nothing really there with all the random generation. My project side. Got my objects, prefabs, and my room tiles. In my prefabs I have enemy spawners, power-up spawners, my power-ups, projectiles, and tank prefabs all organized out. I have my main scene, of course, all my scripts. And these are the packages that I have included from Unity, which I will go over in a minute. Code, logic, and structure. So far everything is mostly working as it should, except for the random generation, which has been giving me trouble for the last week and a half. And you can see in my spawner code, instantiate, generate random at spawner position, and transform rotation with this spawner position right here. It's just a random range of the spawner transforms count in the list for my game manager list. And so in my mind it takes a random range from that list and plugs it in here, and since spawn updates is in, or spawn enemies is an update, I figured it would take a new value every frame, but it is, but it isn't going across the expanse of the whole map. And if I had a bigger map, you would see that everything is more localized to that. starting 0 point, and the rest of the map would be empty. So that is something that I will need to get figured out. Otherwise, everything is working pretty well. And game exceeds minimum requirements. So we've seen a few things that I've done, such as adding features to the manager so that we can see what's going on in real time. I did that for myself so I can kind of watch everything as the game is playing and not have to switch between enemies and players and prefabs and things like that. So I got the primary information that I want to see over here. So that's one thing. And for the prefabs, for the room tiles, of course, I changed them up a bit from what we were originally given as a template. I added a little stone effect. I'm no artist, I'm no designer, but I have some packages and I have some materials, and so I added some stone and sand to kind of just give it an arena feel. So that was one thing. The other thing was expanding the doors so that the whole wall would drop and I would have more open playing field. I realized that when I had the doors small, that the field just felt very cluttered, which would probably be great for a first-person shooter, but not so much for a tank game. And then, of course, we have the audio and the visual. Acceleration sounds, stopping sounds, fire explosion, impact explosions. If I could hit something. Also with the guns, you can see gun impact. Trajectory. Of course, I still have all my features from previous. And I have the materials like you see. Variations of the prefab. If we go to the prefabs, see, I got my damage, effects, duration. If we go right here, where my visual effects set to my cannon shell, set to my bullet. And then we have audio for cannon with an audio slider, audio for bullet with the audio slider. And I know that stuff is included in the next milestone package, but I had it done last week because I've worked with audio before, and so I like to put those audio sliders in everything. And these sliders are actually for my weapon systems, for recoil distance on my cannon barrel and the delay on how fast it comes back to the starting position and the bullet fire frequency. So those are some things I've had added in there already. So that is my above and beyond for the week 3 milestones. And I believe that covers everything for the pickups, power-ups, and procedural maps for UA tanks and GPE205 at the University of Advancing Technology. Thank you.